I would personally scoop if I ever seen a turn 2 Nissa. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we're playing Standard Treasure. Play Standard Constructed, win card style rewards in Standard Treasure. At the beginning of your upkeeps, you create a treasure artifact token which you can sacrifice for a mana of any color, and the following cards are banned: Blood Aspirant, Woodland Champion, Lavnia, Azorus Renegade, Mayhem Devil, Korvold, Fey Curse King, and Karn the Great Creator. Basically anything that abuses either the treasure effect or a sacrifice effect, because you get free sacrifice. The only thing that works very, very good still in this situation is Bolas Citadel, because you're getting those permanents in treasures every turn that you can easily sacrifice. And when you sacrifice 10 permanents with Bolas Citadel, you do 10 damage directly to your opponent. So you can definitely play a mono black Gary deck in this event. I think that would do very well. However, today we've made a deck called Treasure Town. So let's take a look at that. We have 4 Gilded Goose, 3 Paradise Druids, 4 Growth Spirals, 4 Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, 3 Thassa Deep Dwelling, 2 Shifting Ceratops, 3 Wicked Wolves, 3 Mass Manipulations, 2 Biogenic Oozes, 4 Nissa Who Shakes the World, 2 Agents of Treachery, 1 Thorn Mammoth, and 1 Great Henge. Looking at 10 islands, 10 forests, and 4 breeding pools. It's a pretty basic deck. Like I said at the start of this video, our main get is Nissa on turn 2, which is pretty crazy. So we really need Nissa and Gilded Goose in our draw hand. That's it. If we get a Gilded Goose and a Nissa, easy wins, you guys. I would almost concede because you don't count losses here, and just look for that really nice draw hand. You can even mulligan down to make sure this is in your hand, because after that you can reinstate some draw engines or just take his permanents quite easily. So you get your Gilded Goose out, it creates the food. You already have a treasure for that turn. Turn 2, you play your second land, you get a second treasure plus your food, which equals 5. Play your Nissa, and then the rest of the game goes on like that. Uro, when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it's escaped. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you gain 3 life and draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield, and then you can pay 4, exile 5 cards from your graveyard to bring it back again. So this is really, really cool as well. Obviously, we probably won't be dropping this on turn 3. It's going to be a later game situation to keep us drawing. Thassa Deep Dwelling. As long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, it's not a creature, and that's really not what we're concerned about here. However, at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. So we have effects like Wicked Wolf enters the battlefield, when Biogenic Ooze enters the battlefield, when Agent of Treachery enters the battlefield, when Thorn Mammoth or another creature you control enters the battlefield. So we have a lot of entering the battlefield effects to re-trigger when these cards come back in because of Thassa's ability. Shifting Ceratops, it can't be countered, protection from blue. This is our out if we run against a mirror match. We can pay 1, it gains reach, trample, or haste until end of turn. So it's kind of nice to have a little bit of protection if we need. Wicked Wolf, when it enters the battlefield, is going to fight up to 1 target creature you don't control. We can sacrifice a food, put a counter on it, and it gains indestructible, which is really nice because we do have the Gilded Goose, so that's an option. Mass Manipulation, we're just taking all his stuff. That's our main get, is to take most of his things and just outvalue our opponent. Biogenic Ooze, when it enters the battlefield, create a 2/2, and then at the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each ooze you control. You can also pay 4 to create a 2/2 ooze as well. Agent of Treachery is going to take our opponent's non-land permanent, which is really cool. If we control more than 3, we're going to draw 3 cards. Thorn Mammoth has Trample. It's a 6/6. Whenever it or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Thorn Mammoth fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. And then the Great Henge as a draw engine costs X less to cast, where X is your greatest power among creatures you control. And then you can pay 2, tap it, gain 2 life, and whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control, put a 1/1 counter on it, and then we're going to draw a card, which is the most important part of that, is another draw engine. So draw engine, we have the Great Henge, Agent of Treachery, Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Removal, we have Wicked Wolf and Thorn Mammoth. We also have ramp via Gilded Goose, Paradise Druid, Uro, and we can go wide with Biogenic Ooze if we need to play defensively, and then Mass Manipulation as our finisher. You could play around with these numbers. I don't even mind dropping another Paradise Druid for an Agent of Treachery. Still balancing this deck. We're early on, but I think this is a great deck for the event and a really fun deck that we've not got to experiment with yet. I think you guys will do well with it as well. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments. And a couple quick reminders before we sign off for the day and get into the footage. We're live every single morning, 6 a.m. PST on Twitch. And if you found any value within this video, it would be super awesome if you could like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. You can also join our Discord if you're looking to continue this conversation afterwards. With that all being said, I'm going to be playing this deck again tomorrow on stream, 6 a.m. PST. I hope to see you there, and we'll talk to you then. Okay, let's see if we can make it through this treasure event in relatively quick time. We really want to play this turn 2 Nissa, which is only available if we get that goose. But again, I'm not going to complain here. Turn 3 Nissa is still okay. Nice. An immediate Witch's Oven. Gotta love that, kids. We just pulled our goose. We're back into turn 2 Nissa territory. Passing our turn, we drop another land, which puts 2 over here, and then we gain another treasure at the start of our turn, which puts 3 over here, which is 5 for Nissa. And literally, we don't even have to worry about this Paradise Druid ramp. We can get rid of that, I think. It's nice, but go big or go home. We pull an Agent of Treachery right after. That's absurd. I would personally scoop if I ever seen a turn 2 Nissa.
Power surges through these lands.
I don't want to lose the land.
The land shall conquer you.
But I almost should. Get that attack and then play the Druid, which will act as the land anyways. We have to force him into it, unfortunately. We can't play defensively, because he will just slowly drain us. Playing our Paradise Druid now. Ensuring that we're going to get that Agent of Treachery next turn. Obviously, we take the Oven. That's the only target we can take. He can sacrifice everything else. That's his turn. Great. Oh, wait, actually, he can sacrifice stuff, so he does have 2 additional mana, plus he can play his cat. You know, I really like Uro as well. Again, just keeping ourselves fully tapped out, making sure that he cannot compete with our mana curve. Taking his Oven, the only thing he can't sacrifice. He's going to make sure he gets it over to us tapped, though, that's for sure. Which is fine. Get as much value out of that as you can. Your Oven days are over. No more baking.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
We don't really want to lose the forest to Death Touch either, so it's just kind of like we're chilling. Going as wise as we can. We got Uro for a draw engine. Only 1 island on the field. If we get wiped with a Ritual of Soot or Cry of the Carnarium, which would leave our land alone and our agent, which is good, but I would hate to lose our forest, primarily. Mirror Trident is not really going to do anything, just milling himself, and he loses his Gary and a Citadel. Which, I mean, admittedly, he needs more land, so that's okay. We're looking for mass manipulation at this point. I'm not gonna argue with that, you know what I mean? Let's grab this Falmer Knight. We could have also taken a land, which may have been beneficial towards our playstyle. But again, I really want to get that Death Touch off the field so we can start utilizing our attackers here. None this turn, unfortunately. And then we're going to cast this Growth Spiral at the end of his turn. Dread Presence. Now that is a card I would have loved to have grabbed with our agent. Very nice. 2 damage to something, it gains 2 life. Pretty cool, let's be honest. Is he gonna go face and try to kill me, I wonder? Might be his best bet. He needs to kill the goose though if he wants to do that, because we can gain life through the goose, right? Making food. Let's Growth Spiral here. Just getting that draw. Land. Our first land of the game, you guys. No, I'm just kidding. My turn here. Let's play Uro. Hopefully we draw something really cool. Another Growth Spiral. We'll allow it. Breeding Pool to the forefront here. We have only 2 cards, so we're not going to get that into the graveyard, unfortunately. Right, we could put 1 here into the graveyard, and then 1 here into the graveyard. We could go to 4, but we're still 1 short of 5. I don't see any Death Touch on the field, which means we're A-okay to start striking. Or do we just play defensively 1 more turn and minus our Nissa? Probably. Let's give a hello good game. Make sure he draws his field wipe if he had one. He's going to bounce our Nissa down turn after turn, so we will have to approach the situation a little differently than we were thinking. Again, we just need that mass manipulation. Ouch, he's getting rid of our Uro. That actually hurts. Again, we're so far ahead in this match. Unless he pulls some sort of miracle out, that's game. Wicked Wolf's going to help us along quite a bit here. Let's go ahead and make a food as well. Another Uro. We only have 1 in the grave, which sucks. So we're going to play this Wicked Wolf, and we're going to kill out this Dread Presence. Eating the food, so he's indestructible, gets that token on it. He's going to tap though, but we do get to knock out Dread Presence, which is really important to us. And then he can go ahead and basically just ruin our whole day. Sucks. Let's just take the draw. The draw's better than just holding him in our hand for 4 or 5 turns, right? Land can hit the field. That's not so bad.
Harness the elements.
No Death Touch. Let's just start banging in We've waited kindly by the sidelines for far too long. Going for 5. Lands have vigilance, and we can just chump block with Paradise Druids if we need. He's got plenty of life. 43 cards in our deck. Basically have unlimited superiority over our opponent here. There's not much he can do. Really needs that field wipe. And again, we're going to make sure we make a food at his end step. He's going to need a bowl of Citadel and then run on no lands to have this work, but... Well, look at me. But again, now literally he's casting with life and cannot double land. So it's a little tricky. Grabbing our food. I'm actually quite hungry now that we're on topic of that. My turn here. We are just slamming this early, you guys. That's so awesome. Oh, it still does it. Shoot, I wanted to spend these treasures instead of tapping our land. Whoops. Ooh, that's a nice draw. Sure, our opponent will really appreciate us playing that.
Rise, my elemental friend.
10 attacks. Let's get the show on the road. I used to play paper. It's too expensive though, and I don't really have a thriving local community, unfortunately. So it's pretty quiet. It's just like basically me and a friend. So sometimes I do, but not competitively or anything. That's why I love Magic the Gathering Arena so much. Attacking with a 0-2 Goose is one of the biggest displays of power you can possibly make. Ending our turn. Our opponent's down to 10. We have token generation now as well. You know, good on him for holding in here, you guys. That's absolutely incredible. We have nothing to discard. Hero is in our graveyard. And he's just playing off the top of his deck with life. Mirror Triton can be good there if you get rid of cards that you can't pay for. And you gain life. So that's Mirror Triton and Citadel. Those go nicely together. Gray Merchant, he's like, I need some life if this show's gonna go. And really, he's making use of it. Dealing 10 damage to us, gaining 10 life. Ouch. We're gonna have to definitely expedite this process next turn. Can he sack 10 permanents? Yes. Obviously, these are permanents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's going to try to do that next turn. We have to keep above 10 life because Citadel. And he's at 20 life again. But it's going to be okay. It would have been cool to not have attacked with our Goose there and made another food. But it is what it is. I'm just going to keep blessing Nissa for more attack power. You know what I mean?
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Well, I guess it'd be easier to do this. Just pull our Goose back, you know what I mean? We got enough vigilance for blockers, and that should be enough damage to kill him, I think. He did gain a lot of life, you guys. We're talking 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 damage going through. Good game. We've got Xaxes. He can gain life here? Yes. Lucky guy. That's awesome. So he's going to have a couple extra life here coming out of this. Almost had him. And, yeah. We could also be sacrificing a thing to make a food token just to make sure we survive. You know what I mean? And we got his devotion down a fair amount. If he wipes the field and we didn't... Well, I guess it wouldn't matter if we gave our lands indestructible if he wiped the field. It would just be a sad way to lose the game. He's still like, I need life. We gotta gain some life here. Because I gotta play cards with my Citadel. Right, good on him. He's really hanging in here, sitting at 2 life though. If he double draws a land, that's gonna be it. And I think he has come to that crossroad. Taking his Witch's Oven and locking out these cats was absolutely an amazing play by us and probably won us the game. Playing his Falmir Knight basically for free. Pretty cool, getting it off the stack of his library. Now he's exiling to gain more life. This is some big brain play, you guys. I'm glad to be able to witness this and bring it to you guys. Playing his Fenlurker, gaining more life. If he pulls a Gary, you know what I mean? We're so screwed. It's a good thing we can Goose for food. We can Oven for another food. So we can also gain a little bit of life short notice. Interesting. Our opponent is definitely showing up to this match. I'm really trying to think about what to do. He needs 1 damage in, and then he needs to sacrifice his Citadel to do 10. It's a weird situation. He's doing it now for some reason, I feel. Does he have a Gary on top? It won't matter. So let's go ahead and make this food token. Like, we're getting close here. I don't want to lose life, and he knows that we can go in above and beyond now. So that's game, you guys. I was going to do this whole event for you guys, but that match took 20 minutes, so we're going to leave it there. That was my treasure deck. It is a Simic ramp. You can play Nissa on turn 2. Absolutely amazing. So thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure to join us every morning on Twitch, 6 a.m. PST, and then go ahead and check out our YouTube as well. Be sure to subscribe, comment, and like if you found any value in this video. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. If you enjoyed any of this content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our guide for beginners and our greatest hit playlists as well.